As you probably know, the Trump administration this week launched new sanctions against the Venezuelan Supreme Court judges who had tried to strip power from that country's Congress, and then they reversed themselves under pressure from President Nicolas Maduro and people in the street.
After those sanctions were announced late this week, the Maduro government lashed out immediately, calling the move U.S. meddling and telling President Trump to go home. Our colleague in Caracas, right there, Corey Weddle, is in the middle of it all. Cody joins us now from Caracas for some perspective on the events of this week. Cody, hello.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning to you guys. And as we got that news this week that the Trump administration would be sanctioning those eight magistrates of the Supreme Court, the protests and the demonstrations continued in the streets. Yesterday, we once again saw massive crowds in the streets here in Caracas, so absolutely no sign for now that the numbers at these street demonstrations are declining and the opposition continuing with its efforts to sort of diversify their protest movement. They called for a protest at night this week as well. That was actually pretty controversial because Caracas here is one of the most dangerous cities in the world, so they later sort of changed the concept of that protest to a candlelight vigil. And as we surpass the 50-day mark of these protests, it's also becoming increasingly clear that if these protesters and the opposition want to affect change, they will need something else. And that could be the reason that on Wednesday we saw the National Assembly implement a commission that will be charged with creating a transition plan should there be a change in government. And it's believed that that transition plan has as one of its goals to attract defectors from the government, which is widely believed to be what the opposition needs to really see some change here.
Cody, that's an interesting development. How do they believe the transition will occur? What will be that tipping point?
Well, they believe that like I said, they need defectors from the government, and that's controversial even among their supporters. Venezuelan society is so polarized, and one side almost sees the other as evil and even, less than human in many cases. So it's very controversial. But what they would have to do is offer amnesty to some sectors of the government, whether that be mid-range officials or even upper officials, to defect so that they won't later face charges should they be involved in any crimes involved with the government, such as narco trafficking.
Yeah. Cody, the other day, Mike Pompeo, the head of the CIA, told Congress that he was very worried about the Maduro government giving colectivos, the civilian sort of military, paramilitaries, 500,000 guns. Where does that stand?
Well, what we do know about the colectivos is they are well armed and they have been in the streets. These are groups that arose as Chavez came into power, and they're conceived as sort of social groups that sort of promote social programs. But they've also become, in many cases, especially in these protests, groups that have sort of clamped down on protesters, intimidating protesters, and also believed to have killed some protesters. We have seen them in the streets, their faces often covered, obviously an attempt to intimidate protesters outside of the state apparatus, which would be the National Guard and the National Police.
Cody, you are so on top of the developments there. We thank you for your time this morning. Stay safe.
Thank you, guys.
All right, up next, we're going to take